You're watching Breaking Ground and I'm Swati Joshi. Hindus are aggrieved while Muslims have always been top dogs in Sambhal. These words of Jawaharlal Nehru from 1924 bore eerie similarity to the words of CM Yogi Adityanath on Sambhal today. Just a day after the BJP Sarkar has sought a report on the 1978 Sambhal riots from the state administration, Pandit Nehru's 1924 letter on the riots in Sambhal have given a fresh twist to the Sambhal saga. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru penned the 13-page letter after riots broke out in Sambhal a century ago. In his report, he wrote that the Muslims initiated an attack in Sambhal while the Hindus were the aggrieved party and that temples were desecrated. The letter has triggered a massive war of words now. The BJP is using Pandit Nehru's 1924 report to point out Congress party's hypocrisy. Both Congress and Samajwadi Party are questioning why is Bharatiya Janata Party digging up the past, alleging that it always plays divisive politics. Now, Nehru's 1924 Sambhal report has armed the Mandir side's argument, which is claiming that the situation on ground has only worsened and that the letter is proof of a temple in Sambhal. We're right now joined by Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain on the broadcast. Mr. Jain, why do you say that the situation has only worsened? Because many are saying this is a 1924 letter. This is about what happened 100 years ago. How is it relevant today in the present scenario in Sambhal?
No, definitely it is relevant, Swati, and let me quote from paragraph number 7 of this letter of September 1924, and let me quote unquote, Sambhal is a town in the district of Moradabad, about 23 miles from Moradabad. It is very ancient town, perhaps one of the few most ancient towns in India. Mention is made of it in Purans. It was an important place of Hindu period, and Prithviraj built a fine temple which it is said was subsequently converted into the principal mosque of the city. This still exists. There are other relics of Prithviraj also. During the early Muslim times, it was an important site of power and even the capital once. During the Mughal period, it was the headquarters of a province. It is full of teerths and sacred wells. It is said that the next avatar will come from the Sambhal. The population now is just 50,000, two-thirds of being Muslim. Thus, there are about 32,000 Mohammedans and 16,000 Hindus. Now, Swati, I ask unquote. Now, Swati, I ask a question to myself. What is the situation on ground today in Sambhal? Despite being an ASI protected monument, ASI is not able to enter there. Despite being worshipping in the well, which is the subject matter of dispute before the Honorable Supreme Court, on which hearing happened today, on the so-called sacred well, people are not able to offer puja there, which puja was being carried out till 2012 and 2013. Now today we are not able to continue our puja. What is the concept of rule of law? Who has violated the principles of rule of law? Who has violated the principles of secularism? Now why there was electricity theft in large number which was going on? Why Sambhal has been declared as a WAP property? Entire district has been declared as a WAP property. Today police station is being constructed. Then you are saying that don't construct the police station because that police station is also on the WAP property. So situation now, if the wells and these sacred teerths are being revived as per list 2 of the constitution, pilgrim and pilgrim sites is a state subject. If that is being revived by the state government, you are saying that the state government is playing foul.
Are you saying that the plight of Hindus worsened?
Let me tell you that bone of contention.
Because nobody spoke for them. Because there was absolute silence when it came to the atrocities that they had to endure. Let me also ask you, the case that you're talking about, of course, is sub judice, and that will have to be proven in the court of law. But does this indicate all the claims that have been made till now, including in this letter, that temples were desecrated? Because when the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh cited similar things, the opposition said, he's digging up the past, and this is a party that only wants to divide the community.
See, Swati, let me restrict myself to the legal issues. And the legal issues are very, very important. I want to ask a question with a lot of sense of responsibility today. 184 Hindus were brutally murdered in 1978. Today, if the state government has taken a decision that we are going to reinvestigate the entire matter and reopen the entire matter, out of, let me tell you, Swati, 1100 people were the accused in that case, which were within the zone of consideration, within the zone of inquiry at that point of time. Only 2 people were convicted out of 1100. Now today the state government has said that after 46 years we are going to give justice and we are going to see that who are the culprits and they should be brought to book. Is it erroneous? Today we are in an era where Sikh rights, anti-Sikh rights of 1984 were being investigated. 10 commissions were appointed, they did not give approval for investigation, and in 2018 the Supreme Court appointed an SIT. So my point is this, that in Sambhal there has been demographic changes, and due to demographic changes, the problem is this, we are not able to exercise our fundamental rights. If we have a well there, if we have a sacred well there, if it's a pilgrim site for us, and you are not able to exercise your fundamental rights, right to religion, then what is the concept of rule of law? And that's why I'm saying it's not a political issue, it's completely a legal issue. You are absolutely right that these are issues which are sub judice before the Supreme Court, which will be adjudicated before the Supreme Court. But the allied areas, allied issues, for example, I'm talking about the sacred wells, for example, I'm talking about the pilgrim site. This entire area is surrounded by pilgrim and pilgrim sites, and the importance of Kalki Avatar. Are we not having the right to speak about it?
But Mr. Vishnu Shankar Jain, since you spoke about the 1978 riots, we also know that some people were acquitted by the court in 2010, and the reason that was cited was lack of evidence. Do you believe a shoddy job was done on part of the investigation, that they were not able to provide enough evidence to the court to book the culprits? Let me also, in fact, ask you, is there at the moment politicization of the issue to ensure that the truth is buried?
See, the point is this, and let me tell you as per criminal aspects also. As per section 378 of the CRPC, if there is an acquittal which is on erroneous grounds, the state government is well within its rights, and as well as the complainant are well within their right to file an appeal before the higher court, which is the High Court, which I believe in this case, because this was a session trial done by the Sambhal court. So if there is a judgment which is erroneous, on which there has been on erroneous grounds people have been acquitted, the state government as well as the complainant have the right to approach the High Court and say that look here, in this particular session trial there has been an acquittal which is completely erroneous, and the High Court will examine the issue. If there has been cited, if the session court has cited the reason that there is lack of evidence, the High Court in appeal will examine. But to file an appeal is the decision which the state government has taken, and I think it's a just decision, because if someone has been erroneously acquitted, definitely, and it's not just in Sambhal case, Swati, every now and then the state government in an acquittal case, they file an appeal before the higher court, they go to the High Court, they come to the Supreme Court.
So you're saying
and
it's
say
not
that,
about
look
politics,
here,
it's about the right,
it's about
the rights of the people. Vishnu Shankar Jain, before I let you go, very quickly and very briefly, I want to understand from you. Like you said, this matter is sub judice, it will have to be proven in the court of law, but outside the court, this particular reference to the temple and the masjid in 1924 letter, do you think this should be an eye-opener for all those who have doubted the such or have been in denial?
Now see, this is the letter which is written by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru on 12th of September 1924 to Mahatma Gandhi. And he has said that on ground, he went there on ground, he did some investigations, and he found out that how Hindus have been made culprits there, how during Muharram procession there is a fake news that there was bell and sound made in a temple, and because of which Hindus have been brutally assaulted in riots so far as 1924 incident is concerned. So this is his on ground report. So, and the situation after 100 years is the same. When we go and conduct a survey, there's a completely false narrative which is created in this country, that Vishnu Shankar Jain went there, he chanted slogans of Jai Shri Ram, and because of which this incident has happened.
Mr. Jain, thank you very much for speaking with us. Thank you for taking those questions. In fact,